I don't know if some of y'all seen that Breakfast Club interview that just happened with Sierra. But basically, there was a segment where Charlamagne, you know what I'm saying, was trying to tell Sierra, hey, the Giants is going to be trash, da-da-da. And Sierra shut all that down, right? She was just like, yo, we ain't about to have that. Like, you ain't about to, you know what I'm saying? Like, we speak life around here. That's literally what she said verbatim. Yo, we speak life around here. We ain't about to have you, you know what I'm saying, talking crazy about a team that my husband played for. Like, we ain't doing that. And, you know what I'm saying, Charlamagne started asking different questions, right? Like, later on, like, oh, like, so what's Russ like? You know what I'm saying? People say he corny, da-da-da-da-da. Sierra shut all that down, too. It was just like, yo, that's an intelligent black man right there. Like, yo, I don't, you know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, like, I seen some clips on here, you know what I'm saying, from that interview. And I seen a lot of men, and a lot of men might not like me for this take, but you know what? It is what it is. I seen a lot of men, you know what I'm saying things like, man, I wish women stuck up for me like Sierra did her, man. I wish my woman did that for me, man. Women need to be more like Sierra, da-da-da-da-da. The part that y'all missing, this the part a lot of brothers missing. See, a lot of brothers, a lot of men expect that kind of respect and expect that kind of honor without them giving anything back in return, without them giving anything first. Yo, as a brother, you cannot respect that kind of honor and respect. First of all, if that's not your wife. And I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback for that, but y'all be expecting wife energy and you're not a husband. You're not her husband. That it don't work like that. It don't work like that. She's not obligated to treat you like her husband and you're not her husband. You get what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, if you want your woman to honor you and to respect you like that, brother, you got to love her. You got to love her unconditionally, fam. You got to treat her right. I promise, I'm telling you, you treat your woman right, you treat your wife right, she will honor and respect you. A majority of women, all they want is love, fam. All they want is love. Men, we want respect. We want respect. We want honor. Women, they desire love. And a lot of men don't love their spouses correctly. A lot of men don't love their woman right. And so now they woman acting kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be, they woman acting up or whatever. And they, you know what I'm saying? Now they in their feelings, they feeling some type of way. And it's just, I'm telling you, you treat that woman right, she will honor the ground that you walk on. I'm telling you, you honor that woman, you treat her right, you love her, you provide for her, you respect her, you be there for her, you comfort her, you console her, you let her confide in you, you be her armor, you be her shield, you be her strength. I'm telling you, she will honor the ground you walk on.
So this man of God here, pastor, whatever you want to call it, said the quiet part out loud. And this is why it's important. A lot of men are coming out to really speak their minds. Because I think, you know, back in the days, I would say maybe 20, 30 years back then, maybe even sooner than that, a lot of us maybe are oblivious to really the nature of men. A lot of men are super lustful. And many of them will act on their lustfulness at some point or the other, especially when the honeymoon phase starts to wear off or wears off in the relationship, and they really have to sit with themselves and do the work on their day-to-day of keeping the relationship lively instead of, you know, sitting on, chipping away on the esteem or the sense of self of their partner. This is conditioning, misogyny, patriarchy, to the mindset of men have a lot of ego and they run by their ego, they're very impulsive, blah blah blah. All those things can be good, but it can be true, but with the intentionality of wanting the relationship and valuing the relationship and valuing their partner and valuing their girlfriends, fiancés or wives, and wanting it to work. And the work of it, the avoidance of it, is what leads to a lot of women filing for those divorces. Because what are you gonna do? You find out, you know, he's lustful, he's cheating, or you already actually found out that he's cheating, or you told you he's cheating, he's leaving. You can, you know, a lot of, especially my highly religious women, African women, will still stay with a man who has obviously told you, I don't want to be you. Don't let a man tell you more than once that they don't want you. You're sitting there, you're maybe having attitude with him, and you are the one suffering. You might say, oh yeah, I got this, I have a strong personhood and I can tolerate this. But why you want to do that? To just be in a relationship or stay with a person because you don't have abandoned mindset. I feel like that person is your person forever, even though you have seen and really can tell that relationship is not going anywhere. He said things like, I'm a man, I love women. We get it, you love women. And a lot of men can also be on the down low and they cover it up with being in a relationship, being married, having children. Sometimes they have children because they don't really care for their children like that. They don't love their children. They don't have empathy for their children. They don't want to be consistent and do the work of being with the children, raising their children, but it's only a thing of a show or showing to their boys that they're fertile. Literally, a lot of times that's what it is. They have children, sometimes they have children with you, leave you, have children with the other women just to prove that in their 40s and beyond that they're still fertile. Literally, sometimes it boils down to nothing but just that, because a lot of men are super lustful, ego-driven, impulsive, lack emotional intelligence, lack the ability to sit with themselves, the void, the discomfort of anxiety, maybe sadness, depression, trauma that is within themselves, maybe from childhood, from conditioning, from all of that stuff, and the unwillingness to do the work, to go to therapy, to go to counseling, to see their pastor, to seek support, to be teachable, to be malleable. They don't want to do that. Many men are just like that, black and white. Is the chances of trying to get a man to change through therapy is 2%. So when you get to that point, you're like, I don't have the bandwidth to tolerate these behaviors from this man. It might be a good idea for you to have the mindset, the self-esteem, the self-worth to walk away. Having the power to walk away, it's a powerful thing for a woman. And a lot of it stems from self-esteem, self-worth, and also being able to take care of yourself financially and take care of your children financially. Because of a lot of men, once they walk away, a lot of time they divorce you, they walk away from you. They want to be with other women, but they also expect you to continue to accommodate them and lose your boundaries for them because they don't know or accept the fact that you have boundaries, because they don't respect you like that or refuse to respect you. And you have to respect yourself enough to walk away, or otherwise they're going to cheap at you, and different things like that. Different things, saying things like your mouth stinks. They might even go as far as saying like your coochie stinks. They might say like your coochie smells like money. They might say like you're fat. They might say things like your belly is too big, your boobs are too droopy, your arm too flabby, your face is too shrivelly. Why are you wearing too much makeup? Why are you drinking sparkling water? Why are you wearing too much pink? Why are you wearing too much black? Why are you going to the gym too much? They might sabotage your ability to go to the gym. They might sabotage your ability to make money. They will leave you hanging with the kids, and you're the one calling out many times in order to be with the kids. When the kids are sick, you're the default parent. Your money is always not right because you have to sacrifice your time, your energy, your money for the children, but you didn't lay down by yourself to make those children. This is why beyond yourself you have to find other support system to hold that man accountable. But this is how it starts, by saying things like, I will, I'm a man of God, but I'm still lustful. I will cheat. If I have a chance of cheating, I'll cheat. I can't be down low, just so you know. I can bring you STDs, STIs, BV, UTIs, whatever, because your pH is always off, because our pH is always acidic, theirs is always basic, and you drinking all there's you know what I mean. If you want, you know. And starting to call you things like your mouth stings, on and on, different versions of it. But he's saying the quiet part out loud, and a lot of men are so addicted to that dopamine phase, the status, the shiny things, the new hobby, the new woman, the new car, the new motorcycle, the new whatever. So you have to know as a woman to preserve yourself and always put yourself first. And when you talk about centering men, doesn't mean you don't like men. You like men, but you center yourself. You prioritize you, because you wake up with you, and you always will wake up with you. So prioritizing your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your emotional health is nothing that should be put on the table to be negotiated. Okay, bye.
Yo, when I talk to men and I ask them what they're looking for in a woman, it is daunting how much of it's a rinse, wash, repeat cycle. And most of the time, when I ask a man what they're looking for in a woman, these are the 3 things that they say. Every time. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I want somebody that's gonna be cooked and that can clean and then be submissive, right? 90% of the time, those are the 3 things I hear, right? So my follow-up question to a man when he says that is, okay, what is she submitting to? Shit, I'm the man. Okay. What I think men need to understand is that just because you're a man doesn't mean a woman has to naturally submit to you. What is she submitting to? And then, like, it's crazy because a man will get offended when that question is asked. What is she submitting to? What is she following? And a lot of men are thinking because they're the head, yes, you're the head, you're the stronger person, you know what I'm saying? They think that they're actually, that's why a woman got to submit. Bro, where are you going? Where are you taking a woman? Where are you taking yourself? You know what I mean? And then the problem is that they think that providing is, you know, I provide, I pay bill. Bro, these women got their own money. They don't need your money. Do you provide emotional stability? Do you provide mental stability? Do you provide some type of encouragement? Do you provide some type of nourishment to her soul? Understand, women today are making more money than men. They're not looking for you to take care of them financially. Is it nice? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But most of these women are in their masculine because they've had to take care of themselves. What can you take off of her plate that has nothing to do with money? Catering, listening, praying, loving, foreplay, dating, things that money can't buy. And what we need to start focusing on is what is a woman submitting to? Whenever we ask a woman to submit to us, what is she submitting to? Ask yourself that question. And if you wouldn't submit to yourself, why would a woman? That's it. That's the post.